with the subtlety of the screen. Suddenly there's a thing, the dream of holding your head is clear as the wings. They are. That's how it is. Yes. Darken, we keep sparking, doing dirty work with a clean conscience. And keep rocking. So you can keep rocking, yeah. When streets darken, we keep sparking, doing dirty work with a clean conscience. And keep rocking. So you can keep rocking, yeah. When streets darken, keep sparking, doing dirty work with a clean conscience. Long time coming through oncoming traffic, back where I was going from, back when I'll be back when I'm done was the mantra. Consequently, I'm performing the finer moments from spots without insurance on a stage. And if it changes, nothing changes. Back burners ain't that much further. Turn up the flames, living vivid, never letting the colors fade. Even when it's tinted lenses on custom frames. So I either get inspired or complain and lose the race. Plane bust a train to say, yeah, we good to go. We good to go, close enough to the edge to look below and decide to float with a Brooklyn flow. Ain't a thief, all we ever do is trip the show. But look no further, cause we good to go. Oh, yeah, we good to go. Better spent on focusing and changing someone's mind. Let's skip the whole globe. We informing angles, lines, folded them origami. The phrases properly placed. A podium, not to be played, but not to be choked. Most body whisper, don't believe it fit. You could only win. I beg to differ. Don't get your extrovert side folded and remember living at your whole tries when both eyes closed again. The whole time we took to make up the old mind. It looked like small-minded crooks to tell it all the trends. Now look. What success, it all depends. Speak of herself, someone unimpressed by cars and trends or odds and ends, not to condescend. What I call a friends with my mom is said with whatever covers common sense, yeah. We climb over and step under between this summer and next summer. We climb over and step under and look both ways before we run up and look both ways before we run up between this summer and next summer. We look both ways before we run up and disappear in the air. Yeah.
Hello, viewers, our worldwide audience of paintheads, culture commandos. It's James Calm, the guy on the bike, and we are back at the bottom of the Lower East Side on Henry Street. And I peeked through the window here at ATM Gallery, and I was oogling this show by Jake Clark through the window. Half sandwich and matzo ball soup. Let's go check it out. Well, I just spoke with the gallerist, and he was a little too bashful to actually speak on video, but he did give me a little explanation. So Jake Clark is an Australian artist, and he said they made an investment in shipping all this stuff over here from Australia. And a lot of this is based on restaurants and bars and clubs here in New York City, because Jake is a gourmand, a gourmet, likes to eat. So here we've got a series of his ashtrays, and isn't that great? You could use them as an ashtray. You don't have to, and even if you don't smoke, you've got the little ceramic cigarette butts in there. I was thinking a couple of these make me think of David Hockney swimming pools, or diving boards and swimming cigarette butts. Rolls NYC Soho, okay. Now, I didn't get an exact explanation of whether this is terracotta or porcelain, but most of them are, well, maybe a little too big to be cookie jars, but they're in that category. This is a nice one, the Russian Tea Room. Just go down the line here. We got Lucien, 2nd Avenue Deli. I would say that the glazes are very nice, and Jake has got kind of a painterly touch. I don't know how many of you have done glazing, but most of this stuff looks like mud when you put it on, so you've got to have all these test tiles and various ways of measuring your color things. Lucky strike. Also, I was thinking that these look more like hand-formed shapes instead of being spun on a wheel. What does this one say? The Odeon. Okay. Okay, well, I like the color thing going on with his Mets vase, jug. Pretzels. Cafe Carlisle. The Bowery. I've been living in New York for over 40 years, and I haven't been to most of these restaurants myself. They probably wouldn't let me in anyway, but at least I get to look at the vases. J.G. Mellon. Okay, well, we drive by Katz's a couple times a week. Well, this has been a little rough cut run through of Jake Clark's half sandwich and matzo ball soup here at ATM. Time to run on. Special shout out to our viewers in Seattle. Oh my goodness. It's going well. We're going to try to run here to the front room gallery and take a peek of an exhibition by Tom Broadbent. And we caught Daniel Aycock on his way out. Okay, I have to wear a mask, but I can't lock up my bike here. Okay, well, I'm sorry if I caught you at a bad time. Are you getting ready to go home, Daniel? Okay, so we've got an exhibition of work by Tom Broadbent here. Does the show have a title?
Yes. Hold on a second. There's a title. Foragers.
Okay, what was that again?
Foragers.
Foragers. Okay. All right, so these are all works on paper. They're all watercolor?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, how is the COVID-19 thing treating you these days?
It's pretty quiet lately.
Okay. We're going to start here looking at this piece. This is titled Rhino. Daniel, if you feel like you want to chime in on anything, just let me know.
A lot of the animals in this show are endangered species.
Endangered species, and guys, he's got some nice little stuff that he's added in here. I got a Utrecht sketch pad in there. Okay.
Affiliated woodpecker.
And sketchbook. Gosh, Tom works on UTEC stuff. This is fairly large. This is 40 by 60, so that's about 3.5 by 5 feet. Now, I've known Tom for, well, probably at least 15 years. And when I started seeing his work, probably back in the early aughts, he was doing a lot of inflated sculpture. This is titled Envelope. This is big. This is 6 by 5 feet.
It's a ring-tailed lemur at the top that has an envelope, and then below that is a red panda and a sun bear, and a mountain gorilla, and a rhinoceros, and they're all endangered. That was actually commissioned by John Holtzman Foundation that it donates a lot of money to help those endangered species.
Wasn't John Holtzman a director in Hollywood or something like that? Wasn't he in, or is this some other Holtzman?
This is a different Holtzman.
Okay.
In the Midwest. And he actually also commissioned us to do a limited edition poster-sized print of that, which is also available at a much reduced price. It's a big edition, like $750. So it's affordable, and half the sales of that goes to.
You want to give us the website or wherever the people could, if they wanted to get the poster, you want to divulge that, or?
They can get it from our website.
Okay, frontroom.org. Okay, we're going to move along here. This is probably the biggest piece in the show. Respite. This is 58 by 66. And I guess it was what, maybe 8 or 10 years ago when you guys were still located in Brooklyn that Tom sort of came out and started doing these highly realistic watercolor studies, mostly of animals, but animals in kind of surrealistic, strange circumstances.
Yeah, we were showing him, but he was doing mostly sculptural installation.
Right, yes.
And then he said, hey, you're going to do a studio visit, and he pulled all these watercolors that he'd been doing on the side and hadn't showed anybody. And he thought, my gosh, Tom, why haven't you showed us these?
Well, Tom has also worked professionally as a designer, as an illustrator, so he's got his technical chops down.
His illustrations don't actually look like this, though. But yeah, he can make these look completely photographic if he wanted to. I think he has to hold back a little bit to keep them animated, not go too crazy.
Well, I was noticing in that one that we just looked at, there was a lot of pencil lines left, and I would actually say that I see some of that in some of these other smaller pieces, so he's kind of letting the process show.
Yeah.
This is a red panda, 23 by 30. Now, you had an opening for this show maybe a week ago?
We didn't actually have an opening. We just opened.
You just opened. Okay.
We were going to shut everybody down again, so we figured having an opening wouldn't be a good idea.
In My Shoes, watercolor on paper. So I imagine Tom does work with photographs on these. Does he do projection and things like that? Is that
He does a lot
technical
of
stuff?
photographs, actually.
Yes.
Lots of different photographs kind of go into each one.
I'm wondering if these sneakers were made in some kind of sweatshop somewhere with like 8-year-old kids that are working 20 hours a day. We're gonna wrap up looking at this. This looks like an anteater. Domestic forager. This is 40 by 60. And here again we've got a lot of his studio stuff here. We got our Sharpie. We got a prescription bottle there. Is that Adderall? I'm not sure. So, okay. Okay, so this has been a rough cut run through of Thomas Broadbent Foragers here at the Front Room Gallery, 48 Hester Street on the Lower East Side. Okay, so now we're back on Suffolk Street. We're gonna run into the Pierogi and we're gonna try to get some pictures of an exhibition by Patrick Jacobs. Well, it's 5:48 and they close at 6, so we're gonna have to rush through here. And there's a lot of work in the show. I think probably the most interesting aspect of this is Patrick's exploration in these dioramas with the lenses on them. Okay, this is a series of unique viscosity print on paper. So I guess that's a type of monoprint, maybe. Get some wonderful textural things happening there. Okay, this one is titled Meat Face. Twins Lovers Night Spirits 2. It's a 2020. And these are all 24 by 18. Well, there's a lot of work in the show, so we'll just kind of scan over some of the major installation pieces, but I've got one thing that we really want to see that I was thinking about for the last week and a half. This is titled Pink Nightfall 2018. 55 unique 2-color multi-copper plate dry point etchings, aquatint, and monoprint on paper. Gosh, so that's a lot of printing. So this is $7,000 for the set. Well, Patrick has got a pretty fine-tuned graphic sense. Each one of these is 16 by 12 inches. Just from my own experience with the the printing and the proofing on plates like this, gosh, you could spend hours on each plate, and then the printing is its own kind of art form. Okay, well, we see that he's got a couple of themes that he works with a lot. So we've got the kind of the plaids on the spirally, thorny, plant-like forms. Let's look at some of the sculpture. It's titled Scarecrow 2019. This is bronze. And gosh, he's got a nice little pedestal. This looks like something from a classic sculptor studio. It's a nice selection. Gosh, the furniture that he's putting these on are just about as interesting as the sculptures. There's a real kind of a whimsical aspect to this, but I was also thinking that some of these forms make me think of Cy Twombly, or at least Cy Twombly's sculpture, and also Jean Dubuffet's sculpture, especially the work that he was doing in the early 50s. Very textural stuff. It's titled Four-Legged Tulip Man. This is bronze, 66 by 41 by 37. The series is titled Night Spirits, 2018. Unique viscosity print on paper, 6 by 5 inches. Get some very nice textural things there. Little table of ephemera. Notes on one of his dioramas. Okay, now we're going to go in and take a look at what I thought was the most interesting part of the show. Well, one of the most interesting parts of the show. And these are the little dioramas that Patrick makes. Okay, so I've seen his work over the years. Joe has shown, might have had one person shows that I've missed, but I have seen individual pieces here and there. And well, I always thought they were interesting, but this is kind of a different aspect where you actually build an environment and you have several pieces. I think this one is titled Stump with Vulva and Full Moon. This is titled Turner's Cave, after Finneguff's Cave, Staff's 2020 diorama viewed through 7.5 inch window, wax, styrofoam, clay, acrylic, paper, foam, wood, steel, highlighting 8K7 glass, box dimensions 23 by 23 and a half, blah, 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 blah. Let's take a look at the back side of the diorama. Okay, so we've got a little plexiglass house that all of that surrealistic landscape is built inside here, and it's kind of rosy sunset is all this translucent orange paint on this film scrim. Okay, so here's the backside of Turner's Cave. Oh, you get to have little extra light bulbs. I've got another wall of etchings, 15 copper plate etchings with dry point on paper. These are 6.5 by 5.5. Okay, that's nice and rich blacks in there. Kind of carrying on his themes with the plaids and the spiky plants. As I said, I've done a lot of etching myself. I don't have time for it anymore, but I admire somebody that does that. Okay, well, it's past closing time. Well, Patrick Jacobs, Nocturnes, here at Pierogi. You can like this, share, recommend it to your friends, and you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. And we just ask you to say thank you, Kate.
It's time to stop the night. When streets darken, keep sparking, doing dirty work with a clean conscience.
Whoa!
I want to see who called me. Anybody call me?
Leo
Anybody
Coltrane.
Anybody want to know what happened?